Laker fans, what's going on? My name is Sammy Long. You know the drill. This is another Laker preview video, doing one for every game this season, getting everybody ready for the upcoming game. Lakers got a unique situation. They're playing the Kings again after they played them on Thursday in Sacramento. It will also be in Sacramento, this game on Saturday. So kind of a rare scheduling for the Lakers in that sense. But Lakers quietly playing some good basketball recently. Won 3 of the last 4. You know, the first kind of game in that stretch, people got into, Portland didn't really take much into that. And then the Minnesota game that they lost. But the last 2 games, I mean, you beat a really good Grizzly team at home on Sunday, have a bunch of rest, going to a tough Sacramento environment that, even though they don't have the best record this year, has kind of tormented the Lakers in the last few years. Huge win. They were pretty dominant in that game too, and it really took command. The Lakers don't do that in a lot of games. They usually leave it to the last couple plays. That was big there, that fourth quarter. But looking specifically at the game, the stars showed out. I mean, Austin Reeves, 25 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals. The Lakers are actually undefeated when he scores 25 plus points. It shows you when you give LeBron Anthony Davis that third scorer, that's really putting up elite numbers, and they can't just key on them. It's hard. It's hard to beat the Lakers when they're on. AD, huge night, 21 points, 20 rebounds, 6 blocks, 4 assists, and 3 steals. I mean, 6 blocks and 3 steals. Wow. I mean, what he does defensively, getting that done, knowing that he could rest his laurels on his offense, but he's such a good defender. The way he did that, huge for the game. LeBron, 19 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. He played a pretty good game. Pass Kareem in minutes, played all time. Also got to show some love to D'Angelo Russell. D'Lo had a nice game, 16 points and 6 rebounds. Loved what I saw from him. He hit some timely shots, especially at the end of that third quarter when LeBron was sitting down, I believe. D'Lo's kind of running that unit, and he took control and kind of looked like that D'Lo that we all love to see, where he's being confident, taking tough shots, and making them and not breaking them. So he had a huge game. I think the rebounding was huge. Offensive rebounds, the Lakers had 15 compared to the Kings at 4. This was surprising to me how the Lakers really controlled the glass, even in Sacramento. Again, no Jackson Hayes, no Christian Wood. It was really a team effort rebounding. I feel like everyone took this personally, getting in on the rebounds. I know the Kings aren't a super physical team. They only go 7 deep, and Sabonis is, their big guy. And they didn't play Alex Len or anybody, the kind of a traditional center. But still, the Lakers, Sabonis had some big games against the Lakers and Anthony Davis specifically, especially in the rebounding column. I think that was huge. Gave the Lakers a lot of second chance points. They beat the Kings in second chance points, 18-6. So when the Lakers are able to do that, I mean, again, the last few games have been excellent Laker basketball. That is what I've loved to see. They're playing like a team. Other guys are stepping up around LeBron, Anthony Davis. I gotta say, I was really impressed with LeBron. At the end of games, sometimes when it's close, we all know LeBron has a tendency to kind of just jack up threes. And he didn't. He kind of let his teammates carry the load. And then when he did at the end, he really went and got some big buckets inside, which is where we all know LeBron is second to none. And, when LeBron's taking threes, it's really a win for the other team. When LeBron's going inside, good luck. Good luck stopping him because he's unbelievable at it. The Lakers had a great night on Thursday night. The Lakers won. Denver lost. Minnesota lost. Phoenix lost. The Warriors lost. And Boston lost, even though that doesn't count. But, screw Boston. So the Lakers had an excellent night in terms of the standings. I know it's early, but that was a big win. And again, I was talking about this last video. The Kings, you're going to play them 4 times. You've already played them twice. So you played them once the first couple games of the season in LA. You won that. You won this the other night. You're going to be playing them on Saturday, and then you're playing them again here in a week or so back in LA. So you want to make sure, even though the Kings are outside the playoffs right now and they are struggling a little bit, they're not, the West is pretty clumped still. There's not a team that's really outside of OKC is really pulling away from everybody. And you want to make sure you have tiebreakers against these teams because the Lakers haven't done it so far against Phoenix. They won that first game and then lost the next 2. Minnesota won the last 2 games after the Lakers won the first. So this is a big opportunity to really, put your stamp on the Kings. The Kings have to win the next 2 games against the Lakers to even tie, and there wouldn't be a tiebreaker. It would come down to other things like conference records, things like that. But you want to make sure that you have something over the Kings. We saw a couple years ago at the end of the season, the Lakers were fighting with teams to get in, and they didn't have a lot of tiebreakers against Western Conference teams. So this is a big game. If you can win this game, you have a tiebreaker against them. And not only is it a win in the win column, but you don't really have to worry about the Kings as much. Also about that game, the Kings had 16 turnovers, but most came in the second half. They had just 5 in the first half. So the Lakers defensively, speaking of my next topic, really have been playing different. And JJ Redick kind of had a halftime interview where he talked about it. He broke down. He's like, we're playing defense like we did the first couple games of the season when they were 3-0. Not that stretch where they were awful. And I'll read off some of the scores. I mean, it's crazy over the last couple weeks. The Jazz, he gave up 104. He won that one in a tight one. But remember, they made the bucket. They called the timeout, so it wasn't necessarily great defense. The T-Wolves put up 109 on you, which is not a team that scores a ton of points. That was the 109-80 game. The Heat drubbed the Lakers with 134. The Hawks scored 134. That was an OT, but they were getting whatever they wanted. The last 4 games, you hold Portland. Again, not a very good team, but they just beat Denver the other night to 98 points. That T-Wolves game, the Lakers only scored 87. LeBron was out, but you hold the T-Wolves to 97 in Minnesota, which is 12 points better than you did a couple weeks before. The Grizzlies to 110 and the Kings to 100. I think that was huge. That the Grizzlies were one of the hottest teams in basketball, and 110, I guess it's not a great number, but considering what they just did to the Warriors the other night and putting up huge numbers on them, pretty good. And the Lakers really locked in that first half. They let it get away there in the third, and they almost came back, but the defense, they're doing something different. There's one small sample alert. Dan Weinke said this in 7 minutes over the last 2 games. Anthony Davis, D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, Dalton Connect's lineup has allowed 12.5 points per 100 possessions. Again, 7 minutes over the last 2 games. You can't read too much into this because who knows, they got to play more on the floor together. But it's interesting. AD allowed some size. Rui allowed some size at the forward spot. We know Vincent's a good defender. Connect's been somewhat impressive. And D'Lo's not a good defender, but D'Lo can get some steals and kind of poke some stuff away. He is pretty good at that. He asked him to play straight up. I thought he did play pretty good defense the other night, and he had a couple big stops. So maybe this team is turning a corner defensively. JJ Redick's getting to him. Defense is a lot about heart, as we all know, and it feels like some of those games, that Heat game, the Timberwolves game, the Hawks game. The Hawks game, I guess they had heart, but the Heat game, there was no heart. I mean, they just looked like they were lost. They weren't even putting hands up, not closing out. Just simple things that you feel like you could get, reduce a team's total by 10 points by simply doing every possession, and they weren't doing it. So I love what I'm seeing from the defense. Hopefully they keep this up. Looking at the game specifically on Saturday, you're assuming the Kings are going to come out firing because you just beat them on your home floor, kind of embarrassed them, beat them by 13. They're going to be wanting some get back. They've been sitting there for 2 days. So I would not be surprised if the Kings come out early in this game and get a little bit of a lead or come out firing. The Lakers got to make sure they respond. And that comes with kind of weathering the storm early and playing your game, locking in offensively. Don't just give this game up. Don't just be satisfied with going 1-1 in Sacramento. And I know Alan and I talked about this on a show the other day. We were like, I guess you would take 1-1 heading into the series, but try to get a sweep. This is what really good teams do. Try to sweep them and really put your imprint on them. As we looked, kind of heading into that, they only play 7 guys. Fox, Monk, DeMar, Sabonis, and Keegan Murray are the starters, and Herter and Keon Ellis were really the only guys that got legit time off the bench. They had like 21 minutes and 19. A couple other guys got time, but it was garbage time at the end. Fox had a good game, 26. Monk, 17. DeMar, 4-13. I expect him to be better on Saturday. He had 10 points. Sabonis, 18. Keegan Murray, 10. And they didn't really get much bench production. 7 from Herter and 5 from Keon Ellis. Keon Ellis is out there for defense, but Herter scoring 7 points that's not what they want. They want Herter to be scoring in the mid 15, something like that. So they play 7 guys. So the nice thing with that is you can get them in some foul trouble. You can get after them a little bit. And if you play 7 guys, if a couple guys having an off night, that's kind of the thing that comes with the territory. You need all those guys to really be on. The betting public is all on the Kings. They open as 3.5-point favorites, which they're at home, makes sense. The line has moved all the way to 6.5 as of right now. The total set at 226.5. So it seems like the public is thinking that the Kings are going to come out and try to bum rush the Lakers. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Looking at the injury report, on the Kings side, Trey Lyles and Keegan Murray are game time decisions. I expect them to play. I think they're just kind of being listed on the injury report. Rui is probable. AD and LeBron are questionable. AD was listed as left foot management. I hope they're playing because I hope they're not just giving this game away if AD and LeBron are out. That seems like that's what they're doing. I expect them both to play. Hopefully I'm right on that, or at least one of them needs to play. And then same Hayes, Shafino, Vanderbilt, and Wood are all out. So I think the big thing here is Fox is going to get his. Run him off the line. And, DeMar shot 4 of 13. Keegan Murray did not have a good night. Make these other guys beat you. And if Kevin Huerter and these guys are going to go off against you, Malik Monk, then I guess so be it. But don't let De'Aaron Fox just do whatever he wants. Don't let Domantas Sabonis. I know he had 18, but I feel like the Lakers have kept him in check somewhat because of what he used to do to the Lakers. 18, you would have taken 18 on any day because he used to drop, high 20s, 30s against the Lakers and Anthony Davis. I like to see to keep second chance points, getting out in transition. Again, I don't want to get too excited because the Lakers are crazy this year. You get really excited at the beginning, then you get down, then they go on the 6-game win streak, then they look awful against the Timberwolves and Heat. Feels like the season's over. They're going to sell everybody, and then now they're on 3 out of 4. They're on a 2-game win streak. You got the Kings. We're gonna have a preview video up for the Pistons on Monday, and then obviously that Warrior game on Christmas. These are winnable games. We saw the Lakers just beat the Kings. The Pistons are not a great team. The Warriors are flailing. Draymond and Curry didn't even scratch the other night. Draymond had 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists. So Memphis absolutely slaughtered them, and the Lakers just beat Memphis the other night. So huge. I'm looking forward to this game. Hopefully we get a big Laker W. I know Alan's going to get you guys on the post-game show, so I appreciate you guys tuning in. And go Lakers. It's going on a little 3-game win streak. Sounds good. Thank you guys.